Hello. Right, busy day today. Thought I'd give you all an update on the appointment at the hospital this afternoon. So the appointment wasn't till quite late in the afternoon, and we didn't actually leave the hospital till sort of 5 o'clock. We ended up hitting rush hour traffic, so we didn't get back till quite late. But the upshot of today's appointment was another appointment. So all I can say is it's progressing. Nothing much has happened so far, but actually what I will say is they're working quite fast. And so because they're working quite fast with me, which is good news, really, really good news, it does mean that they haven't been able to forward plan and forward schedule some of these things. So I'm not now surprised that I didn't get a letter about today's appointment, because the appointment was only made Monday and it was only just sort of shunted into the system for today. And I had to take a form down to the to one of the departments today to get a heart scan, and the consultant had actually written on the top of it, urgent, must take place within the next 5 days. So, and when the girl initially sort of took it off me and said, we'll book that onto our system, I suspected that normally people would get, you know, a date at some point in, you know, the future. She did look quite surprised and said, oh, okay, fine, you better give me some telephone numbers, because we won't have a chance to probably send you a letter. We'll need to ring you. So I'm expecting a phone call at some point between Monday and Wednesday next week. That will probably be an appointment for sort of maybe Thursday or Friday for that. And nothing else can happen until after I've had that particular scan. And that's just a heart checkup to make sure that my heart is okay, which I'm sure it is, because it's a big, big, big heart. That's wonderful, obviously. Now, it's just a double check that my heart's okay and we'll be able to cope with all the chemo drugs. The chemo consultant was really nice, super, super nice. Sort of a little bloke who was just lovely. And we had a good old chat, and he told me lots of sort of, you know, stuff that I need to know, and said, I won't bore you with any of the stuff you don't need to know. All you really need to know is that you need to not worry about surgery or any of that. Just concentrate on this next bit, which is the important bit, which is getting through the chemo. We'll get you in for the heart scan, and then we'll get you back to speak to one of the nurses here who will, yeah, we can try and meet up this week, Amber, who will basically take you back through all the paperwork again and explain it in probably even more detail and tell you when we're going to start. And that's probably not now going to be next week, but the week after. So not in the long distant future, but not necessarily immediately, which is fine. I've got a week to get my shit together. Sort out more mini ears to wear. And I've got shed loads of stuff on at work, because we've got all sorts of stuff coming up. So that's good. That means I get a week to kind of put plans in place and do task lists for the team and stuff like that. I've already briefed them that there might be points in the subsequent 4 months. So I've discovered the other thing is it's not going to be 8 sessions. It's going to be 6. So it's a shorter period of time than I thought. And you all know I am petrified of needles, hate needles. So there might be, truthfully, quite a few tears during that process, but not doing it isn't an option. Of course it isn't. Failure, not an option. I'm a swimmer, me. I might have been chucked in at the deep end, but I'm a competition swimmer. So we'll get through this. I don't like needles, but, you know. So, yeah, kind of weird, don't you think? 2 appointments before Christmas, which ended up in the diagnosis. 2 appointments this week, which have been like one sort of scheduled, but one unexpected. Thanks to Kat for coming. That's just been perfect, because being at work already, we've just been able to kind of go, right, let's leave, pick up our handbags, off we go. had coffee when we arrived there today. And in truth, thank you, Kat. It is perfect because Kat's going to help me organise my schedule at work over the next few months. So her being privy to sort of treatment cycle and how that'll impact on my ability to function will be good, because it means that she'll be able to help at work, make sure that I don't have meetings organised for the day or day after chemo, that we put off some of those meetings to the week when I'm not going to be so bad, the recovery week before you do it all over again. Yeah, perfect, really good. I had a bit of a giggle before we went in. Yeah, he was really nice. So yeah, I'm going to get the double whammy, bring it on, just to kind of make sure they go boom, 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 blast all those mutated cancer cells, make sure they kill off all that stuff so it can't grow anywhere else. That's it. That's all that needs to happen for now. Not thinking or worrying about surgery 6 months down the line. I've said before, I'm more concerned about keeping the kids' lives as normal as possible than I am about me. I might cry, but I'll get through it. So, you know, once again, thanks to Mum in particular, because it'll be Mum that'll help to keep their lives going and keep them normal. Pick them up from school, which is nothing unusual, and so that doesn't feel weird or unusual to them. Give them tea again. That's, you know, they've got beds at Mum's, they've got toys there, they've got clothes there. Might mean I have to double up on the school uniform and kind of underwear and socks and things like that, but that's easy. That's just logistics. So yeah, Mum's going to be helping an awful lot over the next 4 months to try and keep the kids' lives as normal as possible, which is just brilliant. And that means that I haven't got to worry about the impact on them. I can just concentrate on keeping my shit together. So keeping my kind of my life going. It might mean that the work crew have got to come over and have team meetings at my house. I'll have to get cake in. So and it might mean that I've got people fetching and carrying for me. Yvette, you're quite right. Crying can be good for the soul, but I'm not. And it's really weird because I am a bit of a crybaby. I especially when I'm angry. If you get into an argument with me and I get mad, I am really likely to cry. I know it's really annoying and really frustrating, and people that get into an argument with me then will go, "Why are you crying?" But I do. But then I cry at adverts and I cry at movies. But I think I'm cried out. Now, I'm not cried out on this because I did a lot of crying at the beginning. But I think, okay, my grandmother used to have a saying, and my mum's mum was a wonderful lady, and she used to say that if you fell over on the path and you skinned your knees, you were more than entitled to cry because it hurt. You know, you've just skinned your knees. But eventually you had to pick yourself up and you had to brush yourself down and you had to get going, because eventually the tears are meaningless. And I think that's kind of how I feel now. And it's not that I'm in denial. Believe me, there is no denial. You know, another blood test today. Nope. Well, I'm not in any denial. I know what shit is coming. And yeah, okay. Anyway, I have a lot of faith in medical science. I have a lot of faith in science and technology. Yeah, maybe some of that comes from having done a science degree and knowing the sort of processes that you go through in the science world to get to a point where medical treatment is approved and acceptable. I spent many years as a contractor working for one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the UK, for AstraZeneca. I still have a friend who works there now. And yeah, I have a lot of faith in that system, a lot of faith in the people that are going to be looking after me, the nurses and the doctors and the consultants. Kat asked an interesting question. That was really good. At the end of sort of this process, she went, "What are your thoughts on diet?" And, you know, things that might, alternative remedies. And he kind of went, okay, so I'm a doctor and I am supposed to tell you that 5 fruit and veg a day is really good for you, and obviously you should live a healthy, balanced lifestyle. But in truth, if we thought that there was a miraculous diet that would help you cope through the chemotherapy or even cure the cancer, we would prescribe it. We would do the studies. We would make sure that it was on the list of things that we gave you. It isn't, because there's no scientific evidence to even prove that actually, truthfully, that the 5 a day will keep you living till you're 100, fit and healthy with all your marbles intact. So, there's a lot to be said for living healthy. I'm supposed to say that because I am a doctor. But your 5 fruit and veg a day aren't going to cure your cancer, and you might have days when you are feeling so ill that if all you can eat is the pie and chips, then eat the pie and chips, because all you've got to concentrate on for the next 3-4 months is getting through it. And it will come in cycles, and I've got a pretty clear picture now of what that cycle will be, what that's going to be like. And it is 3-week cycles, and the first week is going to be iffy, and the second week I've got to be particularly careful about secondary infections, and then the 3rd week apparently I won't feel too bad. But he did say, some people struggle a lot more than others. We don't know yet, but I am getting a double whammy, so I'm getting a big dose. Yeah, sorry Amy, you'll have to watch it later. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting the full-on whack, so each time it'll be a full day at the hospital, intravenous. So I suppose I'll be downloading a few movies onto a tablet, downloading a few books to take along with me. I have had a few people offer to sit with me on those days. Please don't. I'm not sure I want anybody talking to me all day when I've got a needle stuck in my arm. We used to take Bill for his blood transfusions, and we used to pick up magazines and things for him, and we'd drop him off in the morning and we'd say, see you later. And he used to flick and sit through his magazines, and I'm not saying it's going to be a nice process, but you do what you've got to do. And as I said, my biggest concern is keeping the kids' lives as normal as possible. And there might be points in those 3-week cycles where it's actually better for them to stay at mum and dad's for a few days. Not necessarily because they're difficult to put to bed, but it might be hard getting up in the morning. But the nice thing to know is that medical treatment these days is so sophisticated, it really is tailor-made to the individual. So the mix of chemo drugs that I'm going to get is specifically tailor-made for my treatment. And there are some additional tablets and things that I'm going to be taking on top of that, and some additional injections. A couple of people have offered to, whack those injections in me. One of those people that's offered is Zachary. He said, teach me to do it and I'll do it. Okay. And my mum used to be a nurse, so my mum said, I'll stick the injection in you every day. So I'm sure there are a few people who love me enough to come and whack a needle in me every day. And that's if I can't stand to do it myself. But if I've got to do it for that amount of time every day for a proportion of that cycle, I might just have to bite the bullet and learn to do it, hadn't I? That might, cure me of my phobia of needles, mightn't it? It's a bit like, being scared of tarantulas, and the way they cure that is they give you one to hold. I'm not doing that, because I'm shit scared of tarantulas. I'm shit scared of all spiders. But anyway, yeah, I liked him. He was really, really nice, and gave me some printed stuff to take away. They put all sorts of emergency measures into place, including kind of forward planning for, you know, worst case secondary infection, immediate antibiotics needed. They do all the prescriptions in advance, so that basically he said in that emergency case we'd have a policy whereby the intravenous antibiotics that they would give you are administered within an hour, and you carry that prescription on you. They don't have to go through your notes or anything like that. So I think I might have a look and get myself a pretty folder to put all my paperwork in. It doesn't look like the losing of the hair is going to be a non-option. I learned all about the cold cap today. It was explained the additional time that takes, the discomfort, and why a lot of people don't get on with it. I've agreed that first time round we'll probably try it, but she did say, you know, some people it's okay, others not, and anyway it's not guaranteed that it will work, so well, we'll see. Willing to try anything, but it's a short cycle, so at the end of 4 months that'll be it, and then the hair will grow back. It'd be quite nice if it grew back pink, wouldn't it? But anyway, I'll probably dye it back afterwards. So yeah, there we go. That was it. Short and sweet. Not really much to report, to be fair. It certainly wasn't a difficult day. It was just an appointment. And the next one will just be a scan. Truthfully, the 2 hardest days so far have been the CT scan, which Mum came to me with, and I cried like a baby. I will totally admit that. And was completely bummed. So that's my Auntie Carol saying, folder's a good idea. David does his own injections. Okay. We'll have to see on that score. Where was I? I lost my train of thought there. I completely forgot what I was talking about. It don't matter, does it really? Okay, anyway, yeah. Oh, the 2 hardest days. The CT scan, yeah, cried like a baby. Completely bummed that my wee wouldn't glow in the dark. And the biopsy day. That was painful. That was really painful. And nobody wants to see the photographs that I took of the mess they made. In many ways, it's almost a good job that they're chopping it off, because they were not worried about cutting chunks out of my skin to insert these needles. And I took 10 biopsies and left 2 big holes that bled and bruised and I'm still sore now from that. That was just awful. Those were the 2 worst days. And I had no notice for those. I'd like 3 days notice. If that, no, 2 days notice, because I found out on the Monday and I went in on the Wednesday. So anyway, God, it's all happened really quick, hasn't it? I tell you what was really interesting was the consultant was absolutely amazed. You cry like a baby. I did. CT scan, cried like a baby. And they're so nice. The staff are all really nice. They don't go, how old are you? Why are you crying? They go, oh, you won't get, okay, good girl. It's okay, the needle's in now. Good. But we agreed today, the doctor said to me today, they won't try my arms. They'll probably just go straight for the back of my hand. Looks like the veins on the back of my hand are better. And failing that, they'll put a line in. So after that, which doesn't sound very nice, but you do what you've got to do, don't you? I don't know why I'm smiling. Yeah, do you know what? It is true. I'm truthfully, I'm more concerned about keeping the kids' lives normal than I am about me. Because as I go through the process, the more people I speak to on the medical team, the more I realise that actually the prognosis for me is a pretty good one. The odds are in my favour as long as I stay upbeat, as long as I stay positive, as long as I follow the medical advice, and I have absolute faith in the medical advice. And for that, I'm really lucky. And he did say to me today, that was what I was going to say. He said, how did you know? Because there's no obvious sign of the tumours. You can't even really feel anything. The fact that you thought that you felt, I don't know, a bit off, and thought that there was something worth, keeping an eye on your body and checking and being alert enough to at one point think, oh, that's not quite right, I'll mention that to my doctor. And then that he didn't ignore it and say, oh, well, I don't know, it's probably nothing, why not take some antibiotics or something. That he just went, oh, send you in for a check, ring them today, they happen to have an appointment quite quickly. He went, I'm sort of baffled as to how you knew, because without looking at the scans and things, it's actually not obvious. And often there are no real symptoms to breast cancer. But anyway, there we go. I did catch it. My GP caught it. It's been caught at a very treatable point. No, unfortunately for me, it wasn't as simple as a little lump, but it will be a story to tell as the future goes on. And I definitely think on the day of chemo, I haven't used the tissues. I think I might on the chemo days though, because there are needles involved. Yeah, you see, no worries. I'm on a roll now. What was I going to say? I have lost my. It's late at night, and I didn't sleep very well last night. So to be fair, I was probably a little bit anxious. I wasn't lying in bed crying. There's been no, why me? Whoa! No, none of that. I'm hacked off more than anything. I'm really pissed off about it. It's a pain in the backside. It's shit I wanted to do this year. Stuff, to get on with. And this is, truthfully, a right royal pain. Anyway, there we go. Just get it on. Get it over with. Shorter few months than I had expected, which is really good news. And I'm lucky, because there are people out there getting a diagnosis of cancer and their prognosis is not, not this positive. I'm staying positive. I'm staying upbeat. I'm rocking the pink hair. I love the pink hair. And I did wear a red dress today, and we did put silly ears on. And I'm laughing a lot more than you might expect. And the appointments are easy. There's nothing happening. The next difficult day will be the day of the chemo day. And it might be that I want mum or somebody to take me in on that day and sit with me for the first bit. And then I might just say, right, get lost now. Leave me to it. And then I might, just watch a movie or whatever. And, yeah, do I feel sorry for myself? No, not really. No, I don't feel sorry for myself. I'm more hacked off, really. Because like I said, I had stuff to do. So anyway, gonna put a movie on. Gonna have the leftover takeaway that was at mum's, because I can't be bothered at, whatever time it is now. What time is it? Gone 9 o'clock. I can't be bothered to cook now. But I might, make myself a nice healthy drink to go with it. Get it on. Yeah, I'm done with In a Nutshell, and I need to kind of work on that one. In a nutshell, it's get it on. So yeah, let's go for it. I'm pleased that I've got next week to get my shit together. There are a couple of conference things that I wanted to go to, so I get to go to those and have fun and enjoy what I do, because I do enjoy what I do, and spend time sort of putting some plans into place, and then annoy everybody at work and tell them they have to have their staff meetings at my house and bring cake, lots of cake, and then get people doing stuff for me, because I think I need to be better at embracing that and not toughing it out on my own, which is more like, but I think this is going to be not as bad. Not could be worse. All right, let's put it that way. It could be worse. And as I said to my cousin Robin the other night, and I've had some lovely chats with some of my family, as I said to Robin the other night, my grandfather survived a Japanese war camp. He survived Changi war camp. He was one of only sort of a few hundred soldiers who came back from the Burmese railway. He received a special medal, the Burmese Star, for being on the Burmese railway. There were thousands and thousands of prisoners in the Japanese war camps that went off to work as slaves, really, on all sorts of different projects. Thousands of them went onto the Burmese railway, and there were only a few hundred that came back. And when I say only a few hundred, it was just over 200. And he was one of those. If he can do that, I can do this. That's it. There's no doubt about it. There's fight in my family. There you go. Gemma's quite right. I'm a complete wimp when it comes to needles. Yeah. I have passed out before now at a blood test. But I had 2 today. In, out. No problem. I've got this. Yeah. Bring it on. Bring it on. I can do this. Yeah. Red lippy. Look. This stuff's awesome. I mean, seriously. This stuff, cheap stuff. And whacked it on this morning and it's still on. Check that out. And I know the hair looks red in artificial light, but as you saw from the photographs this morning, when I'm in daylight, it's bright, shocking pink. And this bit, which doesn't really look very much in artificial light, is purple. So, yeah. And I've got a couple of bright red dresses for next week that I'm absolutely going to rock. And I even managed to get Kat to put mini ears on today. So, yeah, right. I have so got this. I really do, truthfully. And I think I'm feeling happier that the kids are going to be all right. You know, that they love being at mum and dad's. They've got beds there. They're sleeping over there tonight. So when they have sleepovers there, it doesn't feel weird or unusual. It might feel weird and unusual on a school night because, truthfully, normally if they stay over at mum's, Seren doesn't stay over very much, but if they do, it's the odd weekend. So it might be a bit odd for them on school nights, but it's only going to be for a short period of time. And they'll love it. I think it's fun. And, you know, it's nice, really, in a way, that mum and dad live so close by and that we've already got that close family network nearby where the kids, their lives won't change massively, not overly drastically anyway. They'll just be able to carry on and get picked up from school by grandma or grandpa, which is something that happens, you know, occasionally anyway, as I've worked more and more. Because obviously I've got much busier in my job over the last 12 months or so. So they're used to that, tea at grandma's. And I've, you know, let them go there for a tea for a few nights this week. So, yeah, Sarah and Grace is quite happy for grandpa to pick her up in the morning and take her to school. And that was one of my concerns, was that it would rattle the kids' lives, that suddenly life would be really weird and unusual for them. But we're getting it together, which is really good. Pulling together as a family, it's a strength, really, isn't it? And I'm bowled over and humbled by the outpouring of love and support that I've got through business contacts and through you guys, my friends and family here. And yeah, those that live local, you do realise that I will probably text you at various points going, need cake? If you're anywhere near a cake shop today, need cake. I have favourites. I won't list them for you now, but I definitely will at some point in the future. I like homemade cake. So if you bake, hint, hint, ginger, very near the top of my list, or lemon. I'm going to lay a lot of these hints. Oh, let me think about other things. I really like frappuccinos from McDonald's. Don't know what they've got coming, do they? So gonna milk this. Oh, bollocks, if they're going to give me cancer, I may as well, you know, make the most of it. So I've downloaded loads of new books, bought Zachary a whole load of kids' kind of novels that are all based on Disney World adventures. I'm going to read all of those. And I'm hoping the second series of Taboo will come on, and some other really good box sets for me to watch. Yeah, Lemon Drizzle. Love Lemon Drizzle. My Lemon Drizzle is awesome, but I might not feel up to baking. So I might have to kind of, you know, if any of my friends fancy baking lemon drizzle, that'd be really, really cool. God, I could do a cake now. Liz, if she watches this at any point, your marmalade tea cake is one of my favourites. I like coffee cake too. Cake, actually, truthfully, I'm not that fussy. Basically any cake. And yeah, okay, so I just know I'm going to get through the next few months, and you know, I love my new smoothie maker, but I think I need to balance it out with the occasional, you know, nice treat, keep me happy, keep me going. Oh, rock the mini ears. I'm not, you do realise, if I wear the cold cap during the chemo treatment so that I keep my hair, I can't put mini ears on. The mini ears will not go over the cold. It's a problem. So you see, look, there are some real issues to be dealt with. Some real problems. Anyway. Obviously, I'll keep everybody updated, and one or two of you get... I do! Cat! I'll have to go in and scan it. I need the pre-order McDonald's app, and then I can order the stuff, and then I can just ring work, because they're around the corner, and I can go, hello, are we doing a meeting at my place? By the way, pick me up my McDonald's on the way. Subway. I do quite like Subway. Yeah. That might be a working lunch. What do you reckon? Let her eat cake. Otherwise, off with their heads. I need to show you my new mug. I brought this awesome mug back from Disney, right? I bought it in England. What I discovered while we were in Disney is I'm so British at times. My friend Shannon, my American friend, she just loved it. I told you about the day that we went looking at all the novelty Disney mugs and things. And we were in the shop, and I said, thing is, they're really, really nice, but I only drink tea. I don't drink coffee, and I only drink tea out of China. It has to be a China mug. And she just like practically bounced up and down on the spot and went, oh my God, you're so British, it's so cute. So anyway, I've got this new mug, which I'm just taking out of the box to show you. And it's the Queen of Hearts. Right? And on the back, it says, you're the wrong way round. It says, off with her head. Bring me cake, or off with your head. Can I be the Queen of Hearts? Can I? The pins and needles might not be very nice. That might deter the sewing. That's another serious problem that I'm not entirely sure I'm very happy about. But there you go. We'll live with that. I'll just have to do sewing planning instead. Anyway. I'll stop boring you all now. Love you. Update everybody soon. Yeah, of course. Okay. I'm good, by the way. All right? Can you tell? I'm good. I'm not crying into my boots. I'm going to have a cup of tea in the Queen of Hearts with a splash of whiskey in it. We're all right. The consultant's lovely. Really lovely. The staff are all brilliant. And I get to park in the breast cancer unit car park, so I don't have to pay for the parking. I mean, there have got to be benefits, haven't there? You know, truthfully, if I've got to put up with all the needles and shit. Anyway, have a good weekend. Mwah!